We do not need to restructure these supplements under a drug act. They need to be set in their separate ways like they did in the United States under the DSHEA Act in the U.S. You need to have these in a separate category. They're foods, they're herbs, they are part of your anatomy. They just like they define down in the States. If it's of the body or is of natural growth or natural substances, they are considered a separate thing. We should be doing that here in Canada. We'll wind up like Australia. They've lost 60,000 products. If these bills pass, you will not have access to vitamin C in any real dose that can help you in maintaining your health. We live in Windsor, Ontario. We're constantly being bombarded by chemicals from Detroit, chemicals from Sarnia, chemicals that we produce here in Windsor. We need higher doses of vitamin C just to protect our lungs from the pollutants that we're breathing. There's over 50 years of documented studies by Dr. Cathcart, Linus Pauling, and Dr. Roth on the benefits of high doses of vitamin C. It will not hurt you. What you don't use gets excreted. It's a water-soluble vitamin, meaning that it needs water to move it about. It has tons of benefits from being an anti-cancer preventative to protecting your respiratory, brain functions, absorption of other B vitamins, and a host of other things. If these bills get passed, you would be buying nominal doses if you can even access it, and you would have to get prescriptions from the doctors. The only people that benefit from this bill are the pharmaceutical companies. Only people. The bills need to be killed. Period. They should never have been even introduced, much less passed as far as they've gotten. What amazes me is they've shot down Bill C-51, which would have registered and recorded any food that we would have been eating that was genetically modified or genetically engineered. Yet they shot that down, denying you your rights of free access, and yet they would now want to regulate your access to things that have been around for over 60 years, has 60 years of historical data that not one vitamin has ever hurt anybody or killed anybody. The drug companies cannot make that claim. The drug companies, every time you see something on TV, there's about 20 different side effects, and you've yet to see that in any vitamin or herb that's being sold today in the market. If you do anything of any excess, you can hurt yourself for sure. But for instance, to give you an example, aspirin is the #1 drug that kills more people in the United States and Canada than any other drug, and yet it's still sold over the counter. It's an oxymoron. The other thing I've read as well is 70% of Canadians do not use these things. They use their vitamins, they use their herbs, they use their essential oils, they cook with certain foods that are considered organic. A lot of people make their own concoctions, and so as a result, 70% of the people in Canada do not use pharmaceutical drugs. 30% that do want to get off of them. So this is what I think is the undertone that's going on, and there was really no need to introduce this kind of legislation here in Canada. Now, as a result of this legislation, it's now being introduced in the United States with a drug company called GlaxoSmithKline. They're presented a proposition to the FDA to remove dietary supplements in the United States that produce a weight mass or weight reduction supplements. See, they have so many supplements that they have to hit it in small bits and pieces, but they're trying to bring it in under this guise because they have drug-like effect. Foods have drug-like effect. If I give you ginger and garlic, it can actually reduce cholesterol without having any side effects. If I give you lemons and oranges and you consume them on a regular basis, it would keep you from getting scurvy. It would help you with your arterial walls, keeping them pliable. So these have drug-like effects as well. If I give you walnuts, for instance, walnuts strengthen the heart because of the omega-3 and the arginine content to it. It has a drug-like effect. So these are what they're doing in the States. It's a game, and these kind of games will probably be played here as well. We need to get on board. We need to propose very strongly that any politician that will present anything in constructing these bills to promote these as a drug or put them under the same drug act need to have a strong message to them that this election coming up, or when their next election arises, they will be out of a job. And if the drug companies want to pay them to pass a bill as a result of an endorsement or whatever, fine, you'll get your money from them, but you won't be working for us very long. Public service means you are serving the public, all the public. So again, when you're dealing with supplements, when you're dealing with herbs, when you're dealing with vitamins, when you're dealing with essential oils, the onus is on you to learn what they're about. When you come to see a guy like me who's been doing this for 30 years, and you consult with me about how these things work, I can explain to you, I can tell you what they've been known to do, I can show you the research to validate what they've been used in orthomolecular therapies, but the onus in the end is yours. So always use caution in anything new you do, but they're a lot safer option than going and getting a drug. And that's the things that should be regulated is the drug industry, not the health food industry.